No doubts, the 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV is the largest and most sumptuous all-electric SUV on the market, and is guaranteed to draw EV-curious premium consumers because of its smooth, wind-cheating design, which makes it smaller than it really is. Join us in this video as we tell you everything you need to know about the 2023 Mercedes EQS, the most luxurious and technologically advanced electric SUV ever made. The EV automobile market. Up until quite recently, the Tesla Model X was your only option if you wanted a large, three-row electric SUV. With the arrival this autumn of the Rivian R1S and the 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV, there are now three. The Rivian is marketed at outdoor enthusiasts, but the Mercedes is a rich, opulent electric equivalent of the automaker's gas-powered GLS-Class SUV. With Kia's popular EV9 and the as-yet unrevealed Lucid Gravity scheduled for release in 2024, there will be even more vehicles available soon. But the two-row variants of the EQS SUV also compete with BMW's most current iX. The competition is increasing as the market for electric vehicles expands, but premium purchasers who are interested in EVs are sure to pay close attention to the EQS SUV. The futuristic, lavishly equipped EQS sedan is the basis for the EQS SUV, which has the same platform and is just as sumptuous and distinctive. However, the SUV has greater space, a more traditional design, and several skills and features that the sedan does not. There are obvious drawbacks, including even more weight, but this is unquestionably the most opulent, completely electric SUV on the market and looks far less odd than the iX. There is plenty to admire, albeit sadly there won't be an AMG version, and the additional space means more weight than the sedan. It is brimming with state-of-the-art technology, exquisite details, and calming comforts, and it performs well both on and, surprise, off the road. Three models will be available, with a range of 285 to 305 miles between them. The rear-drive single-motor EQS 450 Plus SUV, 355 horsepower and 419 pound-feet of torque, the all-wheel drive AWD dual-motor 454 Matic, 355 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque, and the top-spec dual-motor AWD 584 Matic, 536 horsepower and 633 pound-feet of torque. Operating the SUV EQS. The EQS SUV seems smaller than it is, 201.8 inches long, because of its soft, muscular design. But at high speeds, you're constantly conscious of how heavy it is. The single-motor 450 Plus version of the large Benz hits the scales at little under 3 tons, while the 580 weighs 6,228 pounds. No amount of air suspended, variable damping wizardry can fully conceal all that mass. However, the large vehicle proved to be surprisingly entertaining and quite stable when being driven through the winding roads of the Arapaho National Forest. Even so, driving this SUV on winding roads can be enjoyable, especially in sport mode, which firms the suspension, lowers the ride height, and tightens steering responsiveness. However, when pushed hard, it understeers. But compared to ARCs like the Cadillac Escalade or Lincoln Navigator, it is far more accurate and car-like. Although it is smaller and lighter, the BMW iX is more maneuverable. Every model of the Mercedes is slower off the mark than its main rival, since the iX and Model X are 600 to 900 pounds lighter than the EQS SUV. The quickest 580 accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds, but even the basic iX, xDrive 50, and base model Tesla are quicker. Additionally, stopping distances seem to be greater than those of its gas-powered GLS-Class siblings' outstanding brakes. After being abruptly stopped on the highway by a careless Toyota Tacoma, I was relieved to learn that the automatic braking system works well. Chaos gremlins can't be stopped, but the EQS steps in rapidly when it detects a threat. As with the EQS sedan, the steering wheel paddles control the 4 brake regeneration modes: strong, normal, none, and intelligent, which takes into account geography and traffic. However, in order to operate in one pedal mode, the creep feature must be disabled. Even yet, the brake pedal unnervingly slides on its own during regen, and the strong option isn't as harsh as some other EVs. While not a genuine hands-free system, adaptive cruise control is a standard feature and is certainly on par with autopilot in terms of being seamless and accurate. Mercedes-Benz already offers its Level 3 partially autonomous drive pilot system on the EQS sedan in Europe, but it is not yet authorized in the United States. We did in fact go through some rough terrain in this very upscale, normally road-oriented SUV. It's hardly a G-Wagon or even a Rivian R1S, but it turned out to be quite competent with a little assistance from some aftermarket tires. Into the woods. Mercedes-Benz was eager to demonstrate the EQS 584 Matic SUV's trail prowess on a constrained, rocky ATV path in Idaho Springs, even though few owners would use their EQS SUVs on severe terrain. The Rivian R1S is the best off-road electric SUV, but with one proviso: the EQS SUV excelled. Hill descent control is also included in the off-road mode, which increases the ride height by 25 mm to little over 8 inches. A useful inclometer display is also included. Even on large moguls, the SUV handled mild mud, rocks, and terrain with ease. However, the rear axle steering, which could turn up to 10 degrees counter to the front wheels, was the most practical element present. The electrically driven rear axle steering can turn up to 10 degrees in opposition to the front wheels, making the EQS SUV very nimble for its size, which is great for those who live in cities or who want to hike through forests. The EQS SUV has an outstanding turning circle thanks to rear axle steering, which is slightly larger than 36 feet compared to 39.4 feet for the GLS. Lane changes are more stable while traveling above 37 miles per hour since the rear wheels spin with the fronts. The EQS SUV's beautiful ambient lighting fixtures support the Hyperscreen, which has a fairly steep learning curve for non-techies but is absolutely stunning to look at. Energizing comfort. It seems to make sense that the SUV's interior would resemble the sedan's given how closely the EQS sedan and SUV are connected. But that's not always a negative thing. The ambient lighting is the stuff of vaporware neon fantasies, and the 56-inch Hyperscreen is wall-to-wall futuristic, while the remainder of the cabin plays to Mercedes conventional Benz's luxury strengths. It is flawlessly made, exquisitely detailed, and comfy. Smaller screens are standard on the 450 and 450 Plus models. However, the Hyperscreen is an option on all models and is standard on the 580. A 17.7-inch center display and two 12.3-inch screens, one for the driver and the other for the passenger, make up the true 3 displays in one. The passenger screen in the EQS SUV can now stream video while moving, unlike the sedan. However, sensors will darken the screen if they see the driver becoming distracted. The 580's head-up display and augmented reality navigation system make it almost impossible to enter the incorrect lane or take the wrong turn, and the screen looks fantastic. Despite the superb user experience design of the MBUX infotainment system, the drawback of the Hyperscreen is screen overload and possible distraction. There's still a lot to figure out, but you get used to changing practically everything by touching on the touchscreen, and luckily the air vents are manual, unlike at Tesla or Rivian. In most cases, using the voice-activated "Hey Mercedes" digital assistant will help make things right. Every 300 miles or so, EQS SUV drivers will need to stop to recharge, but the software Energizing Comfort incorporated into the vehicle will provide sound, seat vibration, and visual stimuli to keep them alert. Only the iX compares in terms of interior design and material quality, but it is nearly as stark as the Mercedes, which is cyberatic. In contrast, the Rivian is simpler and more practical, and the Tesla feels cheap and plasticky. Charging and range. Among the main rivals of the EQS SUV, Tesla still reigns supreme in terms of rated range. In practice, the X often falls short of expectations, but it also benefits from the convenience of the supercharger network. Although locating one of these may still be a genuine voyage, Mercedes boasts that all 3 EQS models can charge from 10% to 80% on a 200 kilowatt fast charger in only 31 minutes. For the time being, it's smarter to schedule overnight charging at home. 12.5 hours from 0 to 100% on a 240-volt wall box. Or expect that the majority of fast chargers will only be 150 kilowatt, which results in lengthier delays. When will the 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV be available, and how much will it cost? The rear-wheel drive EQS 450 Plus SUV will be on sale in October for a starting price of $105,550. All-wheel drive EQS 450 4MATIC SUVs with greater power cost $108,550, while the top-of-the-line 580 4MATIC models cost $127,100. A $1,150 destination fee is included in each pricing. The EQS SUV is a truly compelling alternative to Tesla and many other gas-powered luxury SUVs from a company known for quality and technological innovation, just like its sedan counterpart. There are a few drawbacks. The third row is small. It's not quite as quick as some of its competitors, and fast charging might be more difficult than with Tesla. However, it's unquestionably the most opulent large electric SUV currently available on the market and a cozy, manageable vehicle. The EQS SUV's design and profile are less bizarre than those of the iX and Tesla, and they are noticeably more appealing to most buyers. Do not think twice about getting this car if you have the money. It will be one of your best luxury car choices.